Breaking news! Our subject of this podcast has been changed because Thomas Tuchel has left Chelsea. We was going to talk about VAR. We are going to talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to go through all of the results one by one this week. I'm just going to have a little mishmash and talk about VAR. There were a number of games over the weekend that were affected by VAR, and it literally changed the game in a couple of in a couple of them games. One of them being Palace and Newcastle. I'm going to admit, as a Palace fan, we should have lost that. Honestly, that is disgusting. And it was Lee Mason who was in the VAR studio, and he has now been told he's not refereeing any of the games this weekend, which is what I think they should do to everyone that makes an outrageous decision like that. Yeah. You can quite clearly see Tyrick Mitchell shove the attacker into Gaeta and then score the own goal. Yeah. How do you look at it from the... Because it shows you looking at it as well. How do you not see somebody hurtling across after being shoved, like they've been shoved by the Hulk or something, and literally just crash into the goalkeeper? I don't know.
Yeah.
How does Virgil van Dijk not get sent off for that horrendously dangerous tackle?
Yeah.
And how
also,
go on.
How have West Ham not got a point? And I have to hold my hands up for that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Honestly, when you look at... I don't know if any of you watched the highlights, but leading up to West Ham's second goal that was disallowed, it was actually Reece James's fault. Fofana had it, ready to clear it. Reece James got in the way. Mendy's obviously spilt it. And obviously, Bowen went to go over, but obviously accidentally caught him, and Mendy's made a meal out of it.
Yeah. It's...
Honestly...
Oh my God, that was embarrassing. Like, no contact on the keeper whatsoever.
But then, Come on.
No, like, speaking from a goalkeeper's point of view, like, I know being a goalkeeper, like, just as you go down doesn't mean you got to stop the play. Like, bear in mind, I've been injured before in a match where me and this one player going for the same ball, I got barged, and my leg went.
Yeah.
And I remember I was rolling on the floor. Ref said it wasn't a foul; he could play on.
Exactly. I mean,
Mendy went down. Was fine. Literally looked like a player that he caught him ever so slightly, not enough contact.
Not enough contact for it to be a foul.
Not even contact for a foul or anything. Literally, it's just ridiculous.
Honestly, to be fair, VAR has messed up a lot here. Obviously, West Ham had their disallowed goal, but if we go back to Chelsea v Tottenham, where VAR allowed Tottenham's second goal, but Cucurella got fouled in the area and had his hair pulled. So that VAR looked at that and went, no, that's fine. So clearly pulling hair in the area counts as normal football then, surely. So VAR have not messed up just from this weekend. They've messed up at the start as well, at the beginning.
But some people like their hair being pulled. That's the problem.
It's been since its inception in the Premier League, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't see how the World Cup can get it right, mostly. How, the Champions League can get it right. How the Euros can get it right. I'm saying... as a mostly thing, how can the best league in the world completely mess it up? It's not good enough. And I said this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, right? I think they should have ex-players in the VAR TV rooms at Stockley Park.
I don't know. Honestly, it's got to get sorted. It's got to get sorted because last year I felt VAR had its best season compared to 2019 and 20 and 2021. So last year was a decent season.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, VAR will always make mistakes no matter what happens, where people think it's not right. But certain things like that, what happened last weekend, should not be happening because they were simple, fair goals.
Yeah.
So it's got to stop.
I think it might come to the way VAR is right at the moment. I can see it genuinely messing up so badly that it might turn the tide. It might cause someone to drop out the title race. It could decide the title. It could relegate someone. You know,
Yeah, it has done already.
And then you get, has it really?
Yeah, do you not remember that and goal line technology? When
Sheffield United, Aston Villa.
Yes.
Yep. The ball was behind the goalpost.
Had that gone in, Sheffield United would have got European football. Yeah, it was that year. It was during the restart.
No, they got relegated.
No, they didn't. They got relegated the year after.
Oh, yeah, it was the year after. But it was at 1 point.
Yeah, they would have got European football. They would have got European football.
Yeah, it kept Aston Villa up by 2 points. No, by a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sheffield United would have got European football. I think they would have finished about 7th.
Was it that Huddersfield would have stayed up or something, wasn't it?
No, that was before Huddersfield.
Okay, yeah.
No, that was after Huddersfield. Huddersfield was 2019, they got relegated. This was 2020, the first game back after lockdown.
Honestly, it's got to sort itself out.
It's shocking. Honestly, shocking. And it's just so bad that, you know, there could be legal... Someone will get a lawyer involved somewhere and go, look what's happened, this has happened, we demand that the game is replayed, or, you know, the decision is reversed. There were some preposterous idiots on Twitter this week and in my streams on TikTok going, well, maybe Newcastle should have been awarded the other 2 points and Palace awarded 1 point so everybody wins. That's not going to stop anything, you know, that's not going to solve anything. What we need to do is go straight to the core of the problem and sort VAR out. It's not fit for purpose at the moment. Whoever's running it, there's fucking Mike Dean. Oh, I'm going to have to put in a bleep there, isn't I?
You have to beat Brighton, boy.
Mike Dean is in the VAR offices. He's the head VAR man. What do they call it? The head VAR or whatever. That preposterous title they've given him. And, you know, they should actually do something about it. It is not good enough. It will mess team seasons up if it's not sorted now. Rant over. So, I know, you know, it saved Palace a point, but as a football fan, it's not good, is it?
Nope. It needs to be consistent. The rules need to be looked at, and it's just absolutely...
The referees need to be looked at. I think.
Yeah, I feel like they feel like too much pressure if they turn around to VAR and say no, I've got to keep my decision.
Because Mark Clattenburg said it. I think it was last year. Said there's a very big cliquey sort of attitude amongst the referees that if you go against what VAR says, or if someone in VAR intervenes, or if VAR intervenes in certain decisions, then, you know, they could be ousted and stuff like that. It's very cliquey apparently, and it's just not good enough. You wouldn't have that in any other job, so why would we have it amongst the referees of the best league in the world?
The French league.
The French league, which they play on the farms over in France, yeah?
Best league, mate.
Is my mate Mbappe. Or I don't sound like that in France. There's Mbappe. And anyway, so if we have a quick look at the Premier League table, actually, it's looking forward to the fixtures this weekend. Fulham v Chelsea, West London v West London, Fulham versus Fulham Light.
Fulham B team.
Yeah. Because Chelsea are in Fulham. The Battle of West London. Then you've got a battle of the South Coast. Bournemouth against Brighton, who could be managerless. That could be big.
Well, talking managerless, Chelsea are managerless.
Yes, they are. Leicester v Aston Villa. That's a local derby, isn't it? Leicester and Aston Villa? Ish.
Kinda, not really.
In the sort of same vicinity, aren't they?
Kinda.
You've got Liverpool versus Wolves, and the surprising thing from that, Liverpool are actually playing 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh.
You've got Southampton v Brentford. Come on, Brentford. Beat Southampton so you can shut them idiots up in my TikTok lives. And then you've got City v Spurs on Saturday evening. Sunday, we've got Arsenal Everton. Spuds. Oh, no, not Spuds. West Ham versus Newcastle. And the main event on Sunday afternoon, Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. And it's live. Anyway.
Do you know what the best thing about that is? When we do the podcast next week, I can hear you two argue for once because it's always been me and Chris.
I know. I don't argue. Can I just say something?
You lie.
I'll have the popcorn ready next week.
In terms of fixtures, actually, can I just say something? I did have a rant about this before we come on, so I'm not going to rant now. Palace against Brighton is off in a couple of weeks because of the train strike. It's stupid.
I thought it was Liverpool.
No, it's Palace v Brighton are called off.
Yeah, I thought it was Palace v Liverpool because that's been called off.
No. It's Palace v Brighton. I was looking forward to that as well.
Really? It's just down the road.
I know.
People can get the coach from...
Yeah, it's an hour from Croydon. Dickheads. I have a conspiracy theory, right? I'm going to need another bleep.
Oh, no.
I have a conspiracy theory. Brighton were on the phone earlier going, oh, please.
Good night.
Postpone our match with Palace. We're going to have no manager and they'll smash us. We'll just smash them anyway, even if they had a manager. But, you know.
No, you won't. What are you on about? You're tip for relegation this season.
The reason they are in the position they are is because of Graham Potter, right? Because he's taken a mediocre team that sold most of their best players and he's done wonders with them. Wonders. He's the best English manager in the country at the moment. There's not really many good ones, though, is there? I think the best one is Sean Dyche.
Who got sacked from Burnley.
I know he did, but that wasn't really his fault, was it? It was Burnley. Anyway, so if we look at the table, at the top is Arsenal, despite losing, are still 1 point ahead of City and Spurs, 2 points ahead of Brighton. And then in fifth is Manchester United. There's Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford, Leeds, Fulham, and Palace are in 15th. Wow. Okay. At the bottom,
so it looks like Jason's going to be wearing a Palace shirt again. Singing a Brighton song.
Yeah. I might have to get 2 Brighton shirts and just stitch them together. That could be my challenge before the end of the season. If I drop like 5 stone, I'll be able to get into a Brighton shirt.
I mean, what's the likelihood of that happening?
If you do that, your only cheat day is Christmas Day.
Fuck off. No. Right.
Well, how
I guarantee you I can do that before the end of the season.
All right, let's do a challenge then. All right. So, all right. So if Jason drops 5 stone between now and the end of the season, then we will have to wear a Palace shirt.
Yeah.
And sing whatever song you want us to on your YouTube channel. But if you don't, you have to wear a Brighton flag, a Brighton hat, and a Brighton shirt. Walk down Selhurst Park saying, I sing a Brighton song.
You know that? Have you ever seen Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Yes.
You know at the start where he's walking around wearing that sign?
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be worse than that.
Yes, I know. You got to sing. I love Brighton.
Smash it. I will take you up on that. I'm going to take you up on that.
So you got to sing.
This is going, people. This is going.
Yeah, going to get bigger.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I'm going down the gym tomorrow.
So clip it then.
I have been going down the gym. I will make this a TikTok. I will make this a TikTok and I will pin it to my profile. Give me that wagon wheel.
That's not a wagon wheel.
What is it? Big flap. I'm not a big.
Protein flapjack.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them.
What, the protein or just
The flat
big shot?
Do you know what? I'm gonna go on a high protein diet and part my way to losing 5 stone. Anyway, let's get back to the matter in hand, right?
Or the fact you're wearing a Brighton shirt
I'm
for
not
the
gonna be
second
wearing
time in
it.
2 seasons.
I am not going to be wearing it.
Oh wait, that means no. We have to come up with something better, Nathan.
I could cheat the system and get bigger and not have to wear one.
Wait, no, Nathan. We need to do something else because we've already got a bet for the end of the season. If Jason loses, he's got to wear a Brighton shirt and sing a Brighton song. So we've got to think of something better.
What we really need to do, right, is do it when it's Crystal Palace v Brighton next season. He should go down there on a match with a Brighton shirt
and sing "I hate Palace" up the Brighton.
No, that's just gonna kill me.
On a match day.
No.
And you're gonna sit in the and you got to sit in the away end. Actually, yes, you've got to sit in the away end.
You two are coming with me. Then.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking record it. I love it.
Right, anyway.
Yeah.
Can you lose 5 stone?
Do you know what? Right, okay. That is, if I lose 5 stone, I won't have to wear a Brighton shirt in the away end at Sellers Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna lose 5 stone, mate. Anyway, let's go back to the thing at hand before I took myself into a bigger.
You can't weigh yourself with 2 stones in your pocket, right?
What?
You can't weigh yourself with like bricks in your pocket, you know.
Yeah, no.
Because that doesn't count.
Look at me! I'm gonna be like Tyson Fury. I'm gonna drop the weight, you dosser. Anyway, bottom of the table, and who look really in trouble. Leicester.
Yeah.
They're the only team not to have won this season. They've got 1 point.
I swear they haven't really been busy in the market this season either.
No, but they brought 1 player, I think.
Honestly,
No, I think they brought about 5, but not 4 or 5.
A few of them weren't first team players, though, were they?
No, exactly. I think it was 1 first team.
So yeah, So that's the table. You know, West Ham are down there in 18th, Everton are 16th. It's going to be a mixed season, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the topic at hand and what you've seen in the thumbnail and the title of the video. This morning, Thomas Tuchel got let go from Chelsea. If I made a little TikTok about this, but if rumours are to be believed, this was decided even before the Dinamo Zagreb match last night.
Yeah. Okay, remember.
Apparently, his replacement will be Graham Potter. Arguably, one of the best English managers around at the moment.
Oh, do you know why they're going to sign him? Because he's close to London. They're going to be thinking that it's fucking Harry Potter, isn't it?
No, they've been watching him for a while, apparently. Did you see the thing?
Yeah, thinking you're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
They're obviously I'm gonna be honest here as a Chelsea fan here, like with this obviously second of TT, I am absolutely gutted because there's 2 sides to this, and I'm sure you two could probably agree with me massively here. Like when he came in to go with Frank Lampard, he did do a tremendous job. You can't say that he's done a crap job. He's obviously proven that he is one of the best managers out there right now.
Yeah.
If we're honest, like he's up there with Klopp, Pep, Ten Hag, Simeone. They're all up there right now. And obviously I'm absolutely gutted. But on the other hand, and I'm sure you two can agree with me here, the players he brought in, he wanted them players. He got
Did
them
he?
players.
Did
Well,
he?
no,
Or did the owner?
Let's be honest here. He wanted 2 new centre backs. Obviously, the main one was Jules Koundé, but he chose to go to Barcelona. So Koulibaly came in, got Koulibaly. Fofana was obviously the next best option. Obviously, he's 20 years old. I know that's a big thing because it's pretty much near enough 80 million for him for a 20-year-old who's not even in the France senior team yet. And honestly, he's basically got the same price tag as Maguire. So we'll have to give him time to settle. You can't judge him after a few games. I'm sorry.
So who are you talking about?
Fofana.
Okay, I thought you said Koulibaly. Then I was about to say Koulibaly's
No,
not French.
it's the guy Nathan turned around the other week and said he does not want to sign for whatever his name is.
Fofana.
Fofana. He's like, we do not need him. We do not want him. And then you're like,
I think we do need another centre back.
And you said you don't want to sign for what's his face?
I just didn't want Maguire.
This is going to be another Harry Maguire situation.
I hope it doesn't.
Who
come
knows?
To that. I really hope. You need to give Fofana a bit of time. You can't judge him after a few games. I'm sorry, but you can't.
I don't think Fofana is anywhere near the level of Harry Maguire, because Maguire is a level all to himself. It's just shockingly bad. It looks like he's. I mean, literally, for 5 minutes against Arsenal, he got a yellow card as soon as he came on because he looked like his ankles were collapsing as he was jogging backwards.
Honestly, I'm just absolutely shocked with this all. I mean, obviously, we spent something like 300 million in the summer, and obviously we were the biggest spenders in the Premier League. Again, and obviously it just hasn't worked out for him. And there's obviously a lot of rumours coming out of Sky Sports News saying that obviously we didn't really have a great pre-season. Apparently a lot of the senior players have come forward. Apparently he's not really motivating them in the dressing room. Apparently he's lost the dressing room. His tactics ain't correct no more. They're not working. There's so many things coming out.
That happens with Chelsea players every couple of years, though. It happens with every single manager Chelsea have had.
There's obviously a lot of people were not obviously Brozier and that wanted to start. Obviously, there's so many things coming out that Brozier wanted to Gallagher knocking on the door. Why aren't you playing me? And it's just obviously he's Chelsea are a bit unhappy. There's obviously I'm so gutted about it because I love Tuchel. I thought he was brilliant when he came in. I think it's harsh because obviously he got sacked by a phone call by Todd Bowley. He turned up to Cobham. He got sacked basically via phone call because no one was there. And he got sacked over the phone. He got a phone call from Todd Bowley saying you're sacked. And the rumours are coming out that Graham Potter has been their guy for a few weeks now. So it's obviously been going on behind closed doors. And obviously four consecutive away defeats in a row. They've probably gone, well, we've given you the money. We've given you the players you've wanted. You wanted Sterling. You wanted all these players. We've given it to you. But you haven't produced the results that we wanted. You have to go.
I mean, it's been 5 games.
I'm not going to disagree. I think it's harsh. I think we should have stuck with him at least to this season. Give him at least the season.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing though? It's quite funny.
What?
New owner, same old Chelsea.
The only thing I can sit there and say is you can't say it's an Abramovich thing. It's a Chelsea thing.
That's what I kept saying though. It wasn't Abramovich sacking all these managers. It's the Chelsea back higher ups, but it's not Abramovich.
Yeah. And now that obviously Chelsea were just, before Todd Bowley came in, Chelsea were just Abramovich. Obviously he had his team who were making decisions for him, getting the deals done, sacking the managers. But now Chelsea are run by a group, a whole-on group. Everyone's put their money in to buy them, and they put their money in to spend. And obviously Todd Bowley, obviously I know how he does baseball. He hired someone for the LA Dodgers in 2012. He's given them a 7-year contract, and they're still a manager at that club in America, LA Dodgers. And obviously how he's come. Reece James has just signed a 6-year contract with an option to extend 1 year. He's obviously signing these players like they do in America. They sign players for 6 years with an option for 7. That's what Todd Bowley wants to do. And obviously rumours have been coming out that Graham Potter is in London now as we speak to talk. And it could be announced as early as tomorrow as the new manager.
And that would be a very stupid decision by him because it's not going to be fun enough. He'll be manager for a couple of years and he's going to get sacked.
That's what's going to happen. That's what I reckon will happen. Graham Potter will come in. And obviously you two can back this and you probably noticed. When Tuchel first came into Chelsea was just a different club. It's a thing called new manager syndrome. You come in, new manager comes in, you want to look good, you want to be his best, you want to be in his starting 11 week in, week out. You want to get more game time than you are sitting on your arse on the bench. And that's what Chelsea did. So Chelsea looked good when Tuchel came in. And they looked good last year till Ben Chilwell got injured, Reece James got injured, the Lukaku saga didn't really help. So things went wrong towards Christmas time with Chelsea. I think the draw against Man United started it off, and that's. I think Man United had their own problems back then because they still had Michael Carrick still in charge, so nothing was sure there. But I think it's personally a harsh decision. I think Graham Potter is a good manager. There's no disrespect to him. I mean, obviously with the list I showed you with Graham Potter there, Pochettino, Diego Simeone, Gareth Southgate.
I mean,
Thomas
for
Tuchel.
one, only one of those managers would actually come to Chelsea.
And that would be Graham Potter. So Diego
No, I mean, two. Pochettino and Graham Potter.
Yeah.
I do not want Pochettino there. I think Pochettino is so overrated. There's a reason why United didn't go for him in the end. There's a reason why. Trust me. There's a reason why United were going for him, and they went, "Hang on a minute."
I think it's mainly because of the fan
He's
backlash.
unproven.
Like we did not want him. We wanted Eric Ten Hag from day one.
Yeah, and Ten Hag is a brilliant manager. And he will do well.
The fact is that we're not playing the best and we're getting results.
Like how can I put this, right? And I think you might agree with me, Chris, a little bit, and maybe you, Jason.
Jesus, me agreeing with you? What's going on?
I know you might agree with me, but you might not, or you might see where I'm coming from here. For me, I feel like Ten Hag has not been backed this window in terms of spending money because he's got in certain players, but he wanted more players. Where Tuchel has been backed, spent the money that he spent, but I feel like Ten Hag has his starting 11 more set out than Tuchel did this season with Chelsea.
I agree with the transfers because if you think about it, there's a lot of people that we wanted, which we haven't got. Like for one, Frankie De Jong.
Yeah, that was just a joke. Honestly, there was rumors coming out that apparently Barcelona owed him 20 million euros in wages.
17 million.
17 million.
He wouldn't leave, would he?
And apparently Man United wanted to buy him, but Barcelona said, "Well, pay off his wages." But Man United were like, "Why should we pay off his wages when that's a you problem, not a Man United problem?" Which is true. Which is not a Man United problem.
I can see that, yeah. And I think what's really pushed Tuchel over the edge in terms of probably a business standpoint is that Chelsea have spent over 300 million in the transfer window, which is preposterous for a team to play the way they have.
The amount of outgoings you guys have had, like you're damaging the culture of your club. If you think about it this way,
honestly,
Aubameyang, what's it called? Aubameyang is past his best, and bear in mind, Arsenal got rid of him because he was like always breaking these like rules, requirements, and disrupting the dressing room, and then you bring him in.
Exactly, and to be honest, now that Graham Potter looks like he will probably take the job at Chelsea, I think everyone deep down knows he is going to accept the Chelsea job because Brighton have given him permission, and Chelsea are willing to meet Brighton's contract in letting him go because obviously he would tie down to a contract, and Chelsea will have to buy him out. Basically, they'll have to buy Brighton. They'll have to buy Graham Potter, basically, and that's what will happen.
They have. This morning, they triggered the release clause for Graham Potter. So now Graham Potter doesn't have to get Brighton's permission to go and speak to Chelsea.
So that's another couple million Chelsea have spent to add on to
Chelsea had to do it with Frank Lampard. They had to pay Derby $5 million because Lampard was tied down to a 3-year contract. So Chelsea had to pay $5 million for Frank Lampard. And it honestly is just absolutely appalling, and I think it's the worst decision the club will ever make. I hope it isn't. I hope it does bite me in the arse one time. Bite me in the arse and go, hang on a minute. But with rumours obviously coming out, apparently Todd Bowley wants to give Graham Potter a 6-year contract. So maybe there's a big plan. But obviously there's so many ifs and buts with what Graham Potter's going to do because he'll come in and he will probably play Brozier over Aubameyang. He probably will play Cucurella over Chilwell because Cucurella was his boy at Brighton. He was his best player at Brighton. He won Brighton Player of the Year last year, Cucurella.
And he's better.
I think Chilwell is so quality. I think Chilwell's injury just messed him up. You can't sit there and say Cucurella is better because if Chilwell was injured, Chilwell would be but Chilwell came on, got a goal, got an assist against West Ham. His time will come. It will just take time. And
Cucurella's better.
He's not better. You can't sit there and say that he's better.
I just sat there and said it twice.
You can't. The only thing that Cucurella can do that is a bit more better. He's a bit more agile. He can play left centre back, left wing back. But obviously, Graham Potter is not going to play 3 at the back. I feel. I think he'll go for a 4 or a 5. We just don't know.
Nathan, guess what?
I know what you're going to say. You're just going to say it.
Cucurella's better.
That's your opinion. I'm not going to agree with you, but I'm not going to disagree with you.
I mean, did Chilwell get Chelsea Player of the Season?
But Chilwell was injured last year. How can you base it on
has he got...
No, not yet.
Has Cucurella got a Player of the Season in his first season in the Premier League?
Yeah. At Brighton, yeah.
In his first season in the Premier League.
No, is it?
But it's going to just take time. Obviously, at the end of the day, we all know Chelsea have so many options, but I just don't know. Honestly, it's a shocking decision. I think, personally, myself, I think he has done a good job with Brighton. There is mixed emotions about it because some people say he hasn't done really a great job. He has done a good job. He's just done it with a bang average club. And obviously it is a bit appalling that we've sacked one of the best managers we'll ever have at Chelsea. Like, he's up there with the Mourinhos, the Ancelottis and stuff. And I personally think it's a joke. And Chelsea should be ashamed of themselves. And I think
but Chelsea do it all the time, though.
I know Chelsea do it all the time, but this is the worst. This is the worst sacking I've seen. How can you sack someone? But at the end of the day, there's obviously all these rumours coming out now that they had it planned for ages. It's probably been happening since pre-season. And I think it's just honestly an absolute joke. And I think it is just the same old Chelsea. I love the club. I've supported the club from the age of 5 years old. But it's the same old Chelsea, nothing different. It's obviously a new era at the club, new owner, all these things that he wants to rebuild Stamford Bridge, which he wants to do anyway. And Todd Boehly obviously feels like he is not a Todd Boehly guy. And technically, Tuchel is the last person of the Abramovich era because Marina's gone, Petr Cech's gone, Bruce Bucker's gone. Everything is going to be new at Chelsea, so it's going to be so done differently. It is a new era. And obviously the way they see it is Graham Potter is Todd Boehly, is Chelsea's Todd Boehly guy. Yeah.
All I've got to say is, though, good luck. Hopefully you don't turn into the Glazers.
That's all I can say. And obviously he had to sign a Glazer contract when he did take over at Chelsea, saying you can't take out this loan to buy this, to take out this loan. So where the Glazers have taken out loans to pay off this loan, because they've been paying off English loans with the American loans and then American loans with the English loans. So they've been taking out so many loans. And I hope he doesn't go to Glazer because he signed a Glazer contract saying he can't do this and can't do that.
But I mean is you have an owner who don't give a shit, will spend money left, right and centre on names instead of good players. I think by this way, Falcao and all them lot sort of came in and they were shocking. It was just name signings.
Yeah,
they're Abramovich buys, aren't they? So I think it remains to be seen, you know, what Boehly spends out on. At the moment, we can't really judge, can we? He's only had the club for a couple of months. We've got Aubameyang. Obama who?
Obama. Apparently, it's approaching their 100th day in charge of Chelsea. 100th day nearly coming up. So obviously, they wanted a new era, and they obviously didn't want him there. And I'm absolutely gutted. Yeah. But Tuchel will be back. He will go to another club. Like at the end of the day, if there's other clubs out there, I don't think he'll be back in the Premier League anytime soon. No. I think he'll either go to Italy or Spain. I think obviously there's rumours coming out that Ancelotti is retiring at the end of this season. I reckon he could get the Real Madrid job. You don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen to Tuchel, but he will be back. He will be back in manager very soon because he's a world-class manager.
Yeah.
He done a tremendous job at Chelsea. And obviously, I mean, I am going to get behind every Chelsea manager that they hire. So whether it's Frank Lampard, obviously, or bloody Graham Potter, or this person, that person, whoever we hire. But it is slim pickings out there now in terms of the manager market, to be fair. I think it really is.
Well, I think it's a foregone conclusion, maybe, that Potter is going to Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea are going to pay out the money to release Potter from his contract to not hire him. It'd just be wasted money, wouldn't it?
And it'd be a wasted trip from Brighton all the way to Chelsea. Yeah.
I mean, there is some good from this.
What do you mean Fulham, Nathan?
There is some good from this, right?
Yeah.
Brighton will be without a manager.
Oh, I knew that was coming. How did I knew that was coming?
How much you want to bet Pochettino goes to Brighton?
Oh, that'd be funny.
He won't go to Brighton. What this might cause is a cascade of managerial changes depending on what happens, right? So if Potter goes to Chelsea, that's a far-gone conclusion. That means Brighton will probably be open to getting Chris Wilder in, Sean Dyche, Pochettino maybe. They might go for Gareth Southgate.
No, Southgate won't leave, unfortunately.
They might. You never know. They might just chuck a load of money at Zidane and go, there you go. Come here, try not to headbutt anyone. But, you know...
I didn't say we don't know what will happen. Obviously, nothing's been confirmed yet. Talks will probably go on through the whole night, and it could be announced as early tomorrow, but I don't think we will have a manager. Obviously, we all know Tuchel's backroom staff who followed him from Dortmund. PSG will leave. Apparently, Anthony Barry will be taking over at Chelsea on Saturday.
I don't know who that is.
He's one of the backroom staff. He's like, he used to be one of the coaches at Everton as well, youth academy. So
do you know what? I would never trust anybody that has two first names for a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jathan.
Yeah, but honestly, I am shocked at this, and I think it's an absolute joke. But obviously, as well, if you watch Tuchel's press conferences, there was signs there because of his body language when we lost and stuff as well.
Yeah,
he looked like Mourinho at the end of his time at Chelsea when he looked ill.
That's what I think as well. Like, I think that as well, and I think
he's been quite erratic as well, hasn't he, in what he's been saying, Tuchel. Not only because of the whole Conte thing, but if you watch his press conferences, some of the answers he's given have been very, what's the word, argumentative, you know.
Like after the 4-0 defeat against Arsenal in pre-season, he was sitting there saying, yeah, we're not ready, we're just not good enough right now, I don't know if we'll be ready for the Premier League season. You can't be saying that sort of stuff to your players.
That's down to him, isn't it?
Exactly. And there's things that he's done that he shouldn't have said. Like I said, there's two hands to it. He got given the players he wanted. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, that's a Chelsea signing," because some of it was him, and he had to look at alternatives because he was given a role at Chelsea as a transfer role, so he takes over the transfers at Chelsea. They were obviously going to extend his contract till 2026, which hasn't obviously happened as of today. So he did get some control. But then the way Todd Bowley and the Clear Lake Consortium see it as well, we've given you all this money, we've given you the players you wanted, but you haven't produced the results. And the way they see it is after 6 or 7 games in total in all competitions, you're not good enough.
I tell you, I've just seen something on Twitter that I didn't even think of. Do you know who might go to Brighton, who could go to Brighton? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
That could be a shout.
That would be a fit for him. Brighton, mid-table team, and he's got a set of players that haven't got overinflated egos.
And I just hope if we do hire Graham Potter, I hope it doesn't ruin his career because he is potentially a good manager and he potentially could be one of the best ones, or the best English manager, and maybe a future England manager one day. You just don't know. But at the end of the day, we do also need to think of, all right, Graham Potter is going to probably most likely take the job because he's going to take it because it's Chelsea. He'll see it as an upgrade compared to Brighton. No offense to Brighton, but you're going to join a team that's got money. You've got a team you're going to join a team that's got money. So Chelsea have money. He's going to look at the academy. He might get the best out of Conor Gallagher.
Maybe, yeah.
He might get the best out of Brozier.
A fresh set of eyes. A fresh mind.
Because apparently the camp at Brighton, apparently he makes the players feel worth $100 million. So you need a manager like that who's young, ambitious, smart, gives the youth academy, and he will rotate the squad around. He will give everyone a chance because you can't just go, oh, I don't like you, you're Tuchel guy, or you're a Lampard guy, I'm not going to play. He's going to give everyone a chance because he will probably get his best 11 out, and he might get the best out of Brozier and Gallagher, and might get the best out of the players that have joined in, and I hope he does, and he might give the academy more of a chance. And
you need to get rid of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, though. Jesus Christ!
I think he does need to go, but you don't know what Graham Potter
sell
can
him
do.
to a relegation team like
You
Crystal Palace.
Piss off.
At the end of the day, there's certain players that need to. There's certain players that do need to pull their finger out, and I have to be honest with you. And I love this boy to pieces, and he is one of our own, and I do believe he will get a chance. Mason Mount has not had a good start this season. And I know people, someone like Chris might say he's overrated. And that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I'm not going to. You're allowed an opinion.
He is because Frank Lampard. It's because Frank Lampard's his dad. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. But then we can say Anthony's Ten Hag. We can sit there and say Ten Hag is Anthony's dad. Just saying. But at the end of the day, Mason Mount does need to pull his finger out. He is my favourite Chelsea player right now, along with Reece James.
Anthony's not bald.
Yes, he is.
No,
Anthony.
He's got he's got blonde hair, isn't he?
Nathan, Jesus Christ, he's got blonde highlights in.
I don't know. I don't really watch Man United. I do watch Man United, but I don't really look at someone's head when they're playing. I just look at the game. But there are certain players that do need to pull their finger out of Chelsea. I think Mason Mount is one of them. I think Kai Havertz needs to sort it out a little bit. I think there's so many players that need to sort it out and maybe do need to be dropped for a bit, or maybe just, but Graham Potter will obviously more than likely come in and give it a massive rotation and get the best out of Gallagher. And I hope it is, because Gallagher is a brilliant player. Maybe he didn't get the chance under Tuchel, but maybe Tuchel just didn't see him as good enough. I don't know. But Tuchel
got sent off.
He got sent off. And you can't sit there and say that's Tuchel's fault. Come on. You can't blame Tuchel. Tuchel gave him a chance and against West Ham, he got frustrated against him as well. So
he's getting put with worse players. I mean, you got Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing with him. It's just like, Jesus Christ.
I think personally you need to give Gallagher and Kovacic a little bit of a chance. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Chelsea are still managerless until maybe tomorrow. But if Graham Potter does take the job, I doubt he'll be there Saturday. He'll be watching from the stands because it'll be too late for it.
I'm just reading Twitter and sourcing That's Football by Mark Goldbridge. Chelsea hope to have Graham Potter installed as manager in time to take charge of Saturday's game against Fulham.
I think it won't happen. I personally think
if it's done today, it will be done.
But even then,
he's probably
going to go and go and do the same things you did under Tuchel for the first game.
Yeah, that's what we do. Because when Tuchel took over against Wolves, we drew 0-0. I personally think if Potter comes in, he's got to do training with them tomorrow.
Yeah,
he's got to figure out his best 11, his starting 11 straight away.
He's probably doing all that now.
He might be doing that all now. He might be saying, right, I'm going to give Brozier, Sterling and Havertz a chance, or Brozier, Sterling and Mount. I don't know what he's going to do yet, but it'll be a new system, and it definitely is a new era at Chelsea Football Club. So,
do you know who I can see coming to Chelsea if he is installed as manager? And your engine room needs someone in there. I genuinely think he'll go for Pascal Gross. He's been playing very well lately, or McAllister.
I don't know what will happen. I personally think a lot of managers who leave one club for another are very sceptical about selling them from playing under them, because it's happened before with Brendan Rodgers. He brought players from Swansea into Liverpool and it didn't really work out. And obviously Ten Hag has brought Anthony in. And I hope Anthony does work out, because Anthony is a world-class player.
If you get the other players that he bought from Ajax.
Yeah, and he did. He brought in, obviously, who's that left back he signed?
Malacia.
He obviously didn't. He knew him from the Dutch league because of Feyenoord. So he was looking at him whilst he was at Ajax. Then obviously he took the United job, and then obviously now he's got him.
And then Alessandro Martinez, Ajax centre-back.
Yeah, he wanted him. He got him, and he's definitely worth every penny. Because
the butcher of Amsterdam is now the butcher of the Premier League.
Yeah, he's brilliant for a 5'9".
Make him sound like a serial killer, though, didn't you?
What?
That makes him sound like a serial killer.
He's fucking amazing to watch. So when you watch him, and what was it the first time he played against Mo Salah? He tackled him. Mo Salah got up and he walked up to him, barged him, and was like, "You know what? I fucking love that." It's like
him
just
in the leg. Barge him in. No, I'm making a short joke.
But no,
rude.
Obviously, you guys probably think same old Chelsea. Nothing will change. But if Graham Potter does get the job, or when he gets the job, we don't know. It could be appointed tonight, or when we're all asleep. It could be announced as early tomorrow. But he will need to be given time, unfortunately. He needs to be given time. At the end of the day, you get these fake plastic Chelsea fans who sit there and say Tuchel needs to be sacked. I'm not supporting Todd Bowley. And that, yeah, you can have the ump of what's happened, but you've got to support your club, whether it's bad times or good times. Exactly. And yeah, it is a bad time for Chelsea. It's going to be a long-ass season. I think the World Cup coming along has not helped. I think it's definitely caused a massive disruption on the league. And I think personally, yeah, like I'll always support Chelsea whoever they hire, but I think sacking Tuchel is definitely one of the worst decisions they'll make as I'm alive, whilst I'm still alive. So,
Okay, so to end the podcast, where will Chelsea finish under Graham Potter?
We can only hope for relegation.
To be honest, if I'm honest, I don't see us getting top 4. No way. It's going to be a massive rebuild, and I think personally Chelsea's finish, honestly, in a weird way, nowhere near a European zone, because I think Chelsea just need a massive reboot.
Yeah,
I think you'll finish 4th.
Rebuild. I think it'll be 5th. I'm going to go with my original.
I would rather not take any European football this season and just finish wherever and just have a massive rebuild, because the club needs a massive rebuild.
But then if you haven't got Europe, how are you going to rebuild when no player wants to move to non-Europe?
You're sitting there saying that, but that year Chelsea finished 10th. We won the Premier League under Conte after without European football, and Chelsea needed that. But I don't know. I don't know what will happen to Chelsea. I think maybe Europa League, I'll take that. I'll even take the Conference League if I have to, because it's
Palace
just
have got that.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
So, I'm just going to tell you one more fact before we go off the air. There is one big fact. If Graham Potter leaves Brighton, he will join a long line of managers who have managed Brighton and not beaten Palace. See you later, guys.